Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, and it is another brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer? And joining me today, look, y'all know that I love Persona. I got the songs on my playlist for the gym, car rides, all that stuff. And joining me today is Raionuu. Ray, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing really great today. I'm so excited to be interviewing with you.
Hey, I love to hear that. I'm excited too because you see your boy stumbling over his words. You got the Persona in the background right now. Your boy is cheesing really hard, and I'm ready to get into this interview. Are you ready to get into the interview?
Yes, I'm pumped. Let's go.
Hey, let's go. So before we get into today's interview, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And as D always says, podcast link down below in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into today's interview. So Ray, the first question that I ask each and every guest up here is, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are.
So my name is Shelly or Shells, whichever you guys prefer. I also go by Ray, Rain. That always works. I started cosplaying. Honestly, I took it more seriously recently this past summer. I started when back in 2014 when I was still in high school, but they weren't like polished cosplays. It was more so myself just first going to conventions and enjoying the scene and hanging out with a bunch of other dweebs like me. But honestly, this past summer after Kineticon, I went that one Saturday and it just like refueled my love for cosplaying. And I just like really just jumped back into it and just was like, I want to be a part of this community. And it also helped that two of my best friends were like heavily getting into cosplaying as well. So it just felt nice to go jump into a community and still have like that safety net of like somebody familiar around me.
I feel you on that. And you know what's crazy about that? I feel like everybody's origin to like when they went to their first convention and whatnot, it's either going to be similar or it's going to be different. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, when I went to my first con, I went by myself. I was a guest there because of the wrestling promotion that I wrestle at. And, you know, I was just hyped. You know, I was dancing with Pikachu. I was dancing with cosplayers, like all this crazy stuff. And I was like, man, this is my first con. I want to go to more of them. And I didn't start actually like cosplaying until like 2018. But just like you, I started taking it serious back in 2021. Yeah, 2021 is when I started taking it serious.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I feel like when it comes to cosplay, like there's just so much that you can do, you know. It's like with wearing the costumes, making the props. I want to ask you, like, what has been one of your favorite things about cosplaying so far?
Honestly, I would have to say it has to be the community around it, because coming into cosplaying, it was completely something different to me. Like all these years, like I've been more of an art person myself. So I was heavily into like DeviantArt and just creating a lot. So jumping into cosplaying, it was a complete different switch for me. So it was just nice to feel super accepted into the community and be able to like build an audience and build these relationships with people who actually want to know about me and want to see me further create these amazing cosplays. It really warms my heart and just makes me feel extremely grateful that people are that interested in little old me, because I'm not used to that.
I feel you on that. And I love what you just said. So now to piggyback and follow up off of that, I want to ask you, like, what has been one of your favorite moments from going to conventions?
Honestly, I would have to say probably my favorite moments, they've been like the little small moments. So like when I'll say, like, for example, like a 14-year-old runs up to you and says, oh my God, you're my favorite character. Like, can I get a picture with you? And then they just have those like one-on-one conversations and want to get to know you more. I'm very much a personable person. So I love to like make those connections and actually get to know people. So that way we have like those deeper, I guess, just those deeper connections in life. It makes a big difference to me. And then on top of that, I love like going to convention panels, for example. Like I love learning and love being in environments where I just get to be around other people who have similar mindsets or want to learn something new like me.
Nice. I love that. And, you know, to piggyback off of the thing with kids, I always say that like kids are so wholesome and innocent, and it's like
Yeah.
when they see you, it's just like they're gonna give you that honest opinion. And if they come up to you and they love your cosplay and they think that you're the character, like that's all they see. So it's just like if they love Joker from the Persona games, they see you as Joker, and
Literally.
I love that. Like one of the like Rengoku for me, like it gets a lot of love from kids. And I was telling myself, like after I went to MegaCon, one of the kids was saying some of Rengoku's attacks, and I was just like, man, it's like I know what his attacks are, but I don't know the names of any of them. So I'm just like, I really need to learn the names of the attacks, so that way when like a kid is like, hey, let's do this, I'm like, all right, fifth form, you know, and all that stuff. So I want to ask you now, because like your cosplays that you've done, like they're all amazing. I want to know, like, what are your top 3 favorite cosplays that you've done?
Oh, definitely number one, Toshiro. He just makes me feel super powerful, and I feel like my pictures exude that have so much confidence, but I promise I am super shy and like introverted. So that's one of my cosplays where I just feel like I embody just that energy of that confidence. The second one I have to say is doing Persona 5. I desperately want to try and cosplay all the Phantom Thieves at some point, but
Nice. I love
money.
that.
But
Yeah, money.
I swear, I'm just like, if money wasn't an issue, this would be like the first thing I did, but it's on the way. I want to do so many more of those characters. And then I feel like my third one has to be Sanji from One Piece right now, because he's just a character that I really just started One Piece, so I'm like in the beginning of the hundreds.
Same.
And I good, because I'm like, I want to catch up so badly, but I'm just taking my time and enjoying like the Alabasta arc right now. And Sanji is peak. He's my favorite. I just love his story so far, and I can't wait to see more of him.
I love that. So I want to piggyback and ask you, like, who would be the next Phantom Thief that you would like to cosplay as?
I'm thinking it will be either An or Futaba. Futaba is like my favorite. I can relate a lot to her like backstory and her whole palace in the game. So I really do want to cosplay her at some point. But I feel like I have to do An next, because she's best girl. That's Panther. She's just peak.
Yeah, and look, and if you do On, then you got to get like a small Morgana plush and carry it around with you. Lady On, I love you so much. Like, I don't know why, but I was just hoping that at some point in the game that like he turned into a human, got to get a kiss on the cheek from her, and then he turned back into a cat. Like that would have been so awesome, but it never happened. I
wished it so bad, especially when Royal came out. I was like playing the game, and we actually did get to see like Morgana as a human, but they didn't really go further with it because end of game choices. So I'm not going to spoil, but I wish.
Oh, hold on. So he does become a human?
And in Royal, they do give you that option. So there's a whole different
looking around like
no, you're fine. There's like a whole added palace, and
I didn't know. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't do the requirements to get that added. The other palace. So I need to play the game again, so that way I can get the true ending. So yeah.
Yes, you need it. It's so good, so good.
Oh my god! So, all right, so moving along, I want to ask you this, because this is a question that I love asking people when it comes to like people that like One Piece, people that like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and now I'm interviewing somebody that's a Persona cosplayer. So I want to ask you, you're out in the sea, and this is going to be a new question. I want you to tell me, it's you and a crew of 5 people, right? And I want you to tell me, who would you have on your crew? And you can choose between JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, One Piece, and Persona. Who are your 5 crewmates that you're going to have? I know, that's a real tough one.
Oh, this is good. Okay, I think I definitely, from One Piece, I would take Zoro, because he's a straight up badass. And I know he has this, because I will not. So Zoro, I'll definitely pick Joker, because he's our protagonist. He has it together. Everybody puts their faith into him. JoJo's, I have to go with Joseph Joestar. Okay. I love him so much.
Which one? Old Joseph or young Joseph?
I'm gonna go with old, but not old where he has the invisible baby.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Part 3, Joseph. Okay. All right.
Part 3, yes.
Okay.
I think I'll also bring Makoto from Persona 5 because she's very intelligent and
Yes.
I need those brains on my side. And then I'm thinking I would also possibly bring Luffy from One Piece because I feel like despite his craziness and I feel like ADHD tendencies, I think he'll definitely bring a lot to the table. I feel like when things need to be serious, he has it.
Okay. All right. I love your choices. And this is the second time that I have heard somebody choose Luffy. But at the same time, I gave you a 3-parter because most of the time it's either JoJo and One Piece, or just now and I did My Hero and One Piece, but I gave you Persona, One Piece, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I could have made it extra hard and threw Bleach in there too, but I didn't want you sitting here like trying to think like, oh, who do I gotta get? It'd be like that meme of the lady looking at all the math problems and whatnot, like, who am I supposed to choose for my crew?
Literally me, yes.
So, all right. So now, moving along back into cosplay, I want to know, what are some future cosplays that you have in store for your followers and everybody that's watching this interview right now?
I have quite a bit. So I already told you, I definitely want to go down the line of doing the Phantom Thieves. Outside of that, my list is pretty long. So I do want to go back to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and I want to redo my Joseph Joestar cosplay. This was like a while back on my account. I archived the photos because I want to improve it so much. So I want to do Joseph Joestar and hopefully if I could get a Caesar, that'd be amazing. And after that, I also want to do Chiacolata from
nice.
I believe part 5. And I'm just like,
golden one.
Yes, I'm just like, I feel like that would be amazing to try out. And I already have so many ideas for that cosplay. And then from there, I haven't set anything else really in stone yet. So the rest of it, I'm still thinking through.
Okay. All right. Hey, I can't wait to see all of that. And, to piggyback off of you mentioning Chocolata, y'all make sure that y'all go check out our interview with Chocolata's voice actor, Bill Butts. It is up here on YouTube, or if you want to listen to it on the podcast, you can listen to it there. So moving along, I want to know, when you're not cosplaying and you're not playing Persona 5, what are some of your hobbies that you're into? Who's that cosplayer?
So for me, I do still like to draw on the side. So I have an art account, but I haven't really posted on it yet because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my art. So I really enjoy drawing. I try to do some digitally, but I'm more of a traditional artist with Copic markers, sketchpad. That's pretty much my thing. And then after that, I do enjoy just like reading manga. I have my pets. So it's just more so day-to-day life.
Okay. All right. Just nice and simple. You know what I'm saying? Like,
honestly,
sometimes it's just like the nice and simple life is a really good form of self-care. And, sometimes that's all you need, especially when you're in the world of cosplay, because like there's just always so much going on and so much that you can do. And, so many cons, like, this year alone, like I've already gone to, I want to say 4 or 5 cons, and I still have more to go to as the year goes on. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year. And like how you were saying earlier, money, like you need the money for like the hotels and traveling and cosplays and whatnot. But I am one of those type of people that will say that it is fine to repeat your cosplay, because I know some people think that, oh, I always got to have new cosplays and whatnot. But if you're going to different areas, you can take those cosplays that you've worn in the areas that you've already been in and like introduce those cosplays to new, people. So I want to know, what are some of the future cons that you just want to throw out there that you would like to go to one day?
So for me, I wish there wasn't so much like controversy with Anime NYC's prices right now, but that's one of the ones that I do want to attend in the future. I've never been to Katsucon and Colossal Con. Those are 2 big ones that I want to try to make it to for like next year, definitely. I recently did Anime Boston for the first time. I think I would do that one again, but instead of a full weekend, I would definitely do just like a Saturday for that con.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. Kineticon. I've done Kineticon. I love Kineticon. I wish I could make it for this summer, but I already had a booked vacation the same weekend. So, but that's one of my favorite ones. I feel like that one's such a it's a wholesome con, and I've met so many amazing people there, and that's where a lot of my closest friends and mutuals. That's where I met a lot of them.
Okay, awesome. And I will say that KatsuCon is a very fun con. It will be a lot of people there. I know this year there was 25,000 people there, so I'm expecting next year. Yeah, and you got to think, because the pandemic, I mean, we're still in it, but it's just more things are opening up and kind of returning to normal. So last year, I want to say there was 10,000 people there, and this year they said it was 25. So I'm expecting next year for there to be probably over 30,000. That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. And make sure you bring a jacket, because it is really, really cold. So that's my advice to you if you come to KatsuCon. So
okay,
I want to ask you now, what is some advice that you would give to anybody that wants to come into the world of cosplay?
I would definitely say, don't feel overwhelmed or you have to push out amazing content, or feel like you have to post consistently all the time. Or I feel like when I first came into it, I felt like I had to be on top of everything because of what I was seeing. I was like, oh my God, these amazing cosplayers are posting 3 times a week, and they always have a new cosplay. They always have something new that they're putting out. So I feel like it's so important to know that when you're just starting cosplaying, first off, it's a lot of money. It's an expensive hobby. So it's not something where you just have to constantly push out something new. And then on top of that, I think for myself, I did struggle a little bit in the beginning, because I would see different cosplayers who had maybe different body types than mine, or different looks than my own. And for me, it took a while to build that self-confidence and feel more body positive of myself, to know it's okay if I'm not super slim, or if I have this certain figure. It's okay that I'm thicker and have curves. You could still enjoy cosplaying, and your cosplays aren't less authentic or less beautiful just because you don't look the same as someone else. It's important not to compare ourselves in that way.
Yeah, and that is really solid advice. And to piggyback off of that, I was literally just telling my boy that, because he wanted to cosplay somebody from My Hero Academia, and somebody was just like, oh, well, you're not that skinny, not saying it in a bad way to him, but it's the character that he wanted to cosplay is really, really skinny. And I was just like, nah, bro, cosplay who you want to cosplay as. The only thing that I tell people when it comes to cosplay is, as long as you feel comfortable and you want to do that cosplay, then by all means go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Because
I agree.
At the end of the day, it's just it comes down to what you feel comfortable doing. Because if I was still over 400 pounds, I would not be comfortable cosplaying as Deku, because it's just I cosplay as Deku now, and that suit is tight. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm just man, everything will be ripping, and I'm not trying to do all that. So thank you so much for coming up here on a brand new episode of Who's That Cosplayer. It was awesome having you up here. And before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Yes, so everybody, you can find me definitely on Instagram at Raionuu, so Raionuu. And then if you guys also want, I'm trying to slowly post more on TikTok. My TikTok is at Shellfish, so Shellfish, and then it's 2 eyes.
Okay. All right. Also, hey, y'all make sure that y'all go and follow her on all her social media accounts. And y'all already know where you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at King_Benji on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you all again for watching this interview. Make sure that you check out some more interviews that we have here on the channel. And like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.